Thank you, Greg. You can all hear me okay? Um,
Yeah, yes.
I just want to, it's such an honor to receive the Cornerstone Award. This is just a visual of one of our buildings. And I just want to say I don't take it lightly what it means to be recognized by you all, whose mission is rooted in justice, in the belief that the way we treat really the most vulnerable among us is a measure of who we are. We agree with that completely at Friend Center. This is a photo of our staff, and I believe this award belongs to the Friends Center for Children community, the folks who show up every day for the children and families in New Haven. And it belongs to the early educators across this country who have been doing this essential but really critical work in impossible situations and conditions. And they deserve so much more than they've been given. And so to Leviticus community here, first of all, it's been lovely to get to know you through this meeting. Um, but thank you for seeing this work. Thank you for understanding that housing, childcare, and the economic justice are not separate issues. And for betting really on organizations like us, ones that refuse to wait for the systems to catch up. And so I'm excited to really take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about what we're building with your help. So at Friend Center, we focus on three areas. One is education, high quality year-round early care and education for children, families, and teachers. Two is systems change work, policy and legislative work at local and national levels. And three is innovation, building solutions to problems we cannot afford to wait to fix. And at the core of this is the simple idea of how do we design systems and structures that actually value early care and education, care work, women, children. And so we currently have four school locations. Like many early care education programs, we started in the basement of a church with just four children, and it was a Quaker meeting house in our case. And today we span four neighborhoods. And when we're finished with our planned expansion, which is part of what Leviticus is allowing us to do, we will serve 420 children and have 150 employees. That'll happen in the next 2 years. We are grounded in the Quaker values of simplicity, peace, integrity, community, equity, and stewardship. And we're guided by our mission to educate children, empower families, inspire teachers, engage community, embrace diversity, and embody equity. Our goal is simple but ambitious. No racial, ethnic, or socioeconomic majority across children, staff, or leadership. So I want to just pause and tell you a story about one of our students. His name is Jihadi, and he came to us. It was about 5 years ago. He came to us, and he was the head of the early childhood for the city of New Haven. Reached out to us and said, "I have a child who's in preschool. He was 4, who had been kicked out of 3 preschools already." And they said, he's going to kindergarten in the fall. We just need him to have a positive early learning experience. And so we took Jihadi into our community. He was with us for 4 months. So it was really just summer before the fall. And we helped him recognize and understand what it means to be seen, to be valued, to be heard, to be in community. He had an extremely successful time with us. And what we learned during his time with us is that he was acting out. He was a tall boy. He looked much taller than the average 4-year-old. He was acting out because he was horribly bored. He actually was a gifted child and was being ignored. And when he left us, he skipped kindergarten and went right to first grade. And so just that one intervention in his life, he's now obviously older. His mom still reaches out with holiday cards, and her son is just doing incredibly. And that is what programs like ours can afford and give to folks. So that's our school work. Let's talk a little about our systems change work. Last year, we made sort of historic organizing efforts, and the governor of our state, alongside legislative leadership, passed what was at the time the most comprehensive early care and education legislation in the United States. And two of its most transformative provisions, which we are most proud of our work, is making childcare free for families earning $100,000 and raising early care and education wages to a livable professional standard. It's a huge win for our state, for us, but it will not be operational for 10 to 15 years. So while we wait for this system to catch up, we have to find a solution. And the solution that we needed to figure out was how can we raise teacher salaries without adequate government funding, without increasing parent tuition, and without more annual fundraising? And as we set out to solve this pay gap, we actually found ourselves at the intersection of three crises: childcare, so lack of affordable childcare, lack of affordable housing, and workforce shortages. And so we believe and we see at Friends Center that these are not separate issues. They're deeply connected and they reflect a system that has never been designed to support women and children. And when we surveyed our teachers, every single one of them said housing was their biggest expense. And we didn't even realize this, but some were couch surfing or living in their cars. And they were still showing up to work every day, taking care of other people's children. And so we knew, and it was in 2020, right before the pandemic, we knew that we needed to do something bold and transformational. So we decided to launch something called First Home, First Teacher. It's the first in the country. It's a model that treats housing as a salaried benefit, which provides free housing to early care and education teachers. And what it does, it obviously eliminates their biggest expense without us needing to pass that expense on to parents. So we started in 2020, and now we have a mix of various housing for individual and families. It's a mix of donated, purchased, or builds. And over the last 5 years, we have housed 29 New Haven residents for free. Here are some of our educators who have been in our housing. We know that without housing, and without that stability that housing offers to early care and education teachers, families, communities, everybody suffers. And so by offering housing, not only are we retaining educators, strengthening quality, and expanding early care and education for working families, we've noticed that it's had a tremendous impact on our educators. 77% of the residents in housing went back to school. And that was made possible only by the stability that housing provides. And so the other thing that we have recognized is that given the housing work that we're doing, we see an average immediate benefit increase of $23,000 for each person who's in housing. And as a program, then we save over $500,000 in salary savings every year. And so exciting thing, this is what Greg was talking about, is that this work is now scaling nationally. So we have other communities who have adopted and are doing our model. And we know that at scale, the impact compounds. So housing leads to higher teacher stability, leads to more educators, leads to more childcare access, leads to more families to work, which strengthens our economy. Right now, you may not know this, but our country loses $175 billion annually because we do not have an adequate 0 to 5 system. We believe we can do better. And with funding from Leviticus, we are able to do that. So I'm going to leave you just with a quote from one of our families. My son loves Friends Center. From the moment I drop him off in the morning, he runs to the window to see his friends. To the moment I pick him up, he is so excited to show me the toys he played with all day. His teachers are wonderful, thoughtful, caring, and knowing he is safe and happy means the world to me. He couldn't be in better hands. So thank you to the Leviticus Fund really for allowing us to do this work. It is not an understatement to say that we would be in a different place if we didn't have your support. So we appreciate it.